Good morning, Imani. My name is Julie, and I'm going to take you through this morning's 10-minute meditation. We are focusing on self-care and self-love. And so take the moment now to make yourself really comfortable. Truly focus on the space. Look around at where you're sitting or laying down as if it's new and interesting. Notice the sounds, the smells, the colors, the items in the space, and come into a place of joy and gratitude for this environment that you have, for this space, that for the next 10 or so minutes is going to be your sacred meditation space. So settle in. Get comfortable in your chair. Get comfortable on your bed. Take the time to settle the pillows just the way you want them, to put yourself in the most comfortable space possible. Straighten the blankets, fix the pillows, settle in comfortably in your chair. However it is that you are experiencing today's meditation, make it yours. Find some joy within at this beautiful experience that you are gifting yourself today. So take a deep breath now. I invite you to just inhale deeply and let it go. Open mouth, releasing the breath, breathing in joy, peace, love, and breathing out all that isn't that. You have this beautiful space, this gift, this time, these minutes that you are claiming for you. As you sit or are laying down, eyes open or closed, it is up to you. Connect with the space. Feel yourself grounded and connected to Mother Earth. And then as you take one more deep cleansing breath, and let it go. Take this time now to connect with that inner self, the inner part of you, that energy that is eternal, that energy within you, that connected soul that is you. We call it Christ consciousness. We call it your eternal sacred being, however you want to name it. It is you. It is the pure, eternal you. Give yourself this time to truly connect with the you within. Just rejoice in the acknowledgement. Let that part of you come out and play. Be heard, be seen, be experienced. We are too often in our heads thinking about what we're doing later, what happened yesterday. Let us now be in the present, allowing for this moment of grace when you connect and allow that part of you to be in the forefront of your consciousness. If thoughts come in, let them go. Thank them for sharing. And just say to yourself, I'm thinking right now. And you will see that the thought will kind of drift away. It just wanted to be seen. Allow that soul that really has language but doesn't oftentimes use words. Sometimes it comes across as images, as feelings, maybe words. The soul has a way of speaking and connecting with us and really just being truly us. So take the rest of this meditation time to allow for that part of you to come forward. and to speak, share, and express your inner longings, your inner being, your inner self. Give yourself this gift. Enjoy your meditation. As we're coming close to the end of our meditation this morning, start to come back into the body. Maybe we take a breath, just a short one, and release. Begin to move your toes and your fingers as you are just beginning to come just into your environment again. Notice the feelings that you experienced in this meditation, the images, the way in which your inner soul self communicated with you. Any incomings, any downloads, make note. And remember that you heard what you experienced in this meditation. Everything happens to us in this space for a reason. And as we are in the present moment and welcome that wisdom, it shows up. So as you come out and begin to move in your space, you can
So gently coming back into the room. That was beautiful, Jeremy. Thank you. Are you ready to participate in a sacred and holy service this morning? Yes. Well, let's get Ascension to set the tone.
Why don't you guys all stand up? Let's do a little clapping. Let's get some warmth going in this room. Some energy. There we go. Hi. Yeah, that's it. Now we're talking. I am alive with the Spirit of God. I am alive with the Spirit of God. I am alive with the Spirit of God. I am alive, yeah, alive. Now you know the words. I am alive with the Spirit of God. I am alive with the Spirit of God. I am alive with the Spirit of God. I am alive, y'all alive. I am alive with the Spirit of God. I am alive with the Spirit of God. I am alive with the Spirit of God. I am alive, y'all alive. I am alive with the Spirit of God. I am alive with the Spirit of God. I am alive with the Spirit of God. I am alive, yeah, alive. I am alive, yeah, alive. I am alive, yeah, I'm alive.
Thank you. That gets us going this morning. There you go. So welcome this morning. Thank you all for coming out on this stormy day. And this is going to be a different service. I mean, no, we don't always dress like this. So, what's that?
Why not?
I could. So we also want you to know, those that are watching us on live stream, that this is a different service today. This whole entire service is Amani dedication, dedicating this space, finally, and we have graduating class of practitioners. They took their exams, yes. They took their exams March of 2020, right before the lockdown. They did their final testing and actually completed their course, and we haven't been able to celebrate them for a year and a half. So this is really a special day, and we decided to make it the whole entire service. And I know that you'll still be uplifted and inspired. And we won't be doing our announcements today. That's why in your packets we have a flyer with all of the events that are coming up. And we're just going to move along into dedicating the space. But first, how about joining me in speaking the vision statement for the Amani Center? We are an inclusive spiritual community dedicated to raising consciousness and transforming lives. And that's this space. And this is the place that we do that, communing with each other. And that's another reason why we're celebrating our practitioners today, because they've taken a vow and an oath to these principles. So I'd like to go ahead and just set the tone by blessing the service this morning. So if you'll join me, you can close your eyes if you care to. And you can even gaze up at that point of light between the eyebrows. And gaze deeply there, the seat of your soul. And that light that encompasses us all. The divine meets us there. And today we know the divine has laid a path before us and brought us here on purpose this beautiful, special, sacred day. And the divine joins us in communion of the soul and in celebration of the spirit. So we bless each person that's here today, knowing that you are called and you have answered. We bless each volunteer that's given so much to the Amani Center and to each other. For as we volunteer, there's a camaraderie, a oneness of spirit. The divine meets us there. We bless our musicians, PowerPoint, the sound person, all people here today that have joined us for this amazing celebration. So we let this go knowing, again, the divine has joined us here. So our hearts are grateful for each one of you. And we release this and let it go, knowing in a calm confidence that we are here on purpose and joined by the divine. As we say together, and so it is. So now I'd actually like to start the Amani dedication part of the service, and we're going to bring Marcy Mitchell up today to tell us a little bit about the space.
Thank you. Thank you all for being here. I'm just going to talk just briefly a little bit about our story here, where we've come from, and how we got where we are now. So I have something I'm going to read, so bear with me. So this center began in 1998 as the Spiritual Center for Positive Living. Many of the people here today were here at that time and were part of that founding. Through the years, the center has changed senior ministers several times, but the main mission and many of the core people have remained. There have been trials and triumphs, as with most endeavors. Then in 2017, there was a pretty significant shakeup that left the center struggling with greatly reduced attendance, tithes, and support. It was a very challenging time, and for about a year and a half, things really fell apart, as they sometimes must do. We pulled out of our lease in the space we had called home in Cameron Park, saving several $1,000s a month, but that wasn't enough to turn the tide. Things continued to fall apart, and the board continued to do their best to hold it all together. First, we let the admin go, then the water delivery, then the cleaning team, then the bookkeeper. Then in November of 2018, the senior minister resigned. We moved to an interim part-time minister at about half the cost, and the board and other volunteers really stepped up to keep the center afloat. Still, the unraveling continued. The board went into prayer and visioning and began to open up to a new idea for the center, a rebirth into a new model, dropping the idea of one senior minister at the top for a more collaborative and collective model, with a volunteer ministerial council to guide and care for the spiritual integrity of the center. The board would continue to lead administratively. We would run on volunteer power, tithes, support, and all would be led and guided by Spirit. Spirit-led, board-driven, volunteer-run. A collaborative bottom-up model versus the top-down model of the past. We stayed open, and this is what unfolded. Next, we opened our hearts to a new home, and a new space was revealed. We put every cent we had into our deposits and the move, literally cleaning out the change in the petty cash drawer. People showed up, rolled up their sleeves, and did whatever it took to get us to our new space, open, filled with light and possibility. On September 15th, 2019, we held our first service in this home, and people began to return. Some left, and some other new souls stepped in a divine dance of faith, service, and openness to what was becoming. A new name was uncovered with input from all, and a sacred process, the Amani Center, from the Swahili word for peace. By the end of 2019, the board was ready for a break. Reverend Sherry described them as the survivors in a lifeboat, worn, weathered, and exhausted from years of bailing. Divine said, "Well done, now rest," and a new board stepped up. I'd like to take a moment to recognize the remaining members of the board for all they did to save this center. Some of them have moved on, and that's okay too, but we are forever grateful to them for their service. A new board stepped in, just in time to deal with the pandemic and all the added challenges, triumphs, and trials that brought. They saved the center again. I'd like to take a moment to recognize the new board. Through it all, our ministerial council prayed and listened and kept us on track with wisdom, grace, and courage. We are incredibly blessed by our ministers, and I would like to take a moment to recognize them. And so now here we are, 23 years later, in a new home with a new name and a new model, stepping into our purpose in a world gone a bit mad. So we return to principle, return to nature. We take a breath. We say thank you to the representatives of the Shingle Springs Band of Miwok Indians, who are unable to attend as scheduled due to a great loss in their tribe and their family. We honor the Miwok people as the original occupants of this land, and for their stewardship and for their continued good works that they do in the greater community. We are here for a purpose, Amani, each and every one of us. Now is our time to step up and do the work, to be part of the change that is unfolding on this planet. I am honored to do it with all of you. Thank you.
I got it. Thank you. Yes. Thank you, Marcy. I'm going to speak a little bit about our current mission, vision, and core values. The team has dedicated and contributed a good deal of time working on our mission, vision, and core values, as these are of great importance as they lay the foundation and determine the forward-moving growth and direction for the Amani Center. We are currently in a state of flow and flux with these concepts as Spirit leads us onward in the direction that serves the center to the highest and best good of all involved. Stay tuned to hear as we create these important markers. And now I have a board presentation to present. Our board center is Spirit-led and volunteer-run, and we appreciate the effort and commitment of every person who contributes in whatever way is theirs to share of their gifts and talents to keep the center moving and growing forward. But at our center, there is one particular individual who stands out in her depth and degree of commitment and selfless service to our center, who I personally believe that the center would not still be in operation today were it not for her unending and everlasting contribution and undying faith and dedication to the many challenges the center has undergone over recent years. Her example of leadership and impeccable selfless service has led us to where we are today as the Amani Center, a leading edge center among the New Thought community, doing things in a way that no one else has endeavored to accomplish. Not only did she set out in this pioneering new direction to step beyond a single senior minister-led center, but to a spirit-centered, board-led, and volunteer-run center. Her guidance, forethought, and visionary insight has delivered us right where we are today. I could only be talking about one person. Ladies and gentlemen, will you help bring to the stage practitioner Marcy Mitchell? Marcy, on behalf of the Amani Center Board of Directors, Ministerial Council, Circle of Light, and all of the Amani Center congregation, I wish to present to you this certification acknowledging your unique contribution to the whole. The Amani Center Board of Directors, Ministerial Council, fellow practitioners, and Amani community recognizes Marcy Mitchell for your heroic effort, dedication, vision, and selfless service to the Amani Center. You are the glue that bound us together as we transformed ourselves, the impetus of our recreation. We are forever grateful. You are Amani. Oh, we're not done. And further, we wish to gift you with something that would be near and dear to your heart. So knowing the love you have for the hands pair of paintings by the gifted artist, Allison Tomei, we present you today with the gift of these two paintings provided by the contribution of all of us to you. Jen. Once again, thank you for all that you do and all that you are.
So that was kind of the icing on the cake. So bear with us all the ministers and practitioners. We're going to be doing a lot of things, blessing and praying. So because the Miwok Indians were not able to be here, I was asked to stand in this place. And I want to first of all acknowledge in this big time of transformation that we walk tenderly when we step into different traditions. We acknowledge the loss that the indigenous people have succumbed to many times. And we hold them in our hearts in a good way. I invite that when you decide to be part of that tradition, that you take a moment to honor those that brought it, may not be here and are still here today. And in particular, before we start, I would like to acknowledge the young man, Daniel Gonzalez, 19 years old, who left this planet. And that's why the Miwoks aren't here today, because they're doing what they do to support their family and their community in the way that their tradition has brought. So I want to light this candle. Yes, we're going to light it. In remembrance of the indigenous ancestors that were on this land before we appeared. We invite them. We invite them in. We asked for forgiveness for the way in which those that preceded us were unable to witness their beauty. This candle represents the one universal life, the one spark, the one divine that we came in with and we will leave with. And so the beauty of this community is that we recognize and accept all the different ways in which humanity has come to this place. We recognize and accept that which is different and out of order because we can. And so in this place, I would like to bear witness to the small amount of understanding that I have. It is their way to bless and use sage before ceremony, and imagining seeing them do that, recognizing that in their way, everything about the earth was a relative. The words aha matakwiyasa means a prayer to all my relatives, to those that walk, slither, fly, jump, creep, and swim, to the Earth Mother, who represents the minerals and the bones in our body, to the air that breathes us, to the water that nourishes us and cleanses us, to the fire that generates the passion and the warmth inside us, and to the great unknown they call grandfather and grandmother. So we acknowledge all these elements and this wonderful planet that we live on with humble gratitude and great joy. We recognize the tradition of honoring the four corners, north, south, east, and west, which have a special meaning to them. Let us today, in great gratitude, welcome our own ancestral lineage, all those beings of light that serve us that are here on this side in the veil, whatever name you name it. For those that have gone before us to mark a trail that we can follow. Open your hearts wide and your minds to this extraordinary celebration that we are engaged in, surrounded by the earth, in the wind and the water. We are in absolute awe of the wonder and miracle of the great mystery. Oh. Another hat. Okay, we're going to do a little meditation today. If you can find a place to be comfortable, we're going to use the sound today of this beautiful rain and weather as a cocoon that wraps us up. I'm going to take a moment to remember, even if we don't know how to meditate, something inside us knows how to find the center of our own being. Letting this wind and rain wash the mind that is busy, thinking, letting it go. The breathing, that breath that breathed us, that is the divine breath. Gratitude, deep gratitude. Recognizing the heart that beats us. Alive. Spirit is alive in us. In this peaceful place of settling in. Say in the quiet of your own soul, thank you for my life. Thank you for my life. Use it as a mantra as you breathe in and breathe out. Be with your gratitude. Staying in this place of gratitude, I'd like you to bring to mind those people or circumstances or situations that you would like to send light and love and peace to. So grateful for the life that lives through each one of us. We are the spark, the jewel in the center of our heart that is potent and powerful and awake and connected to every other soul on this planet. We declare that we are a blessing, and the blessing runs through us like a flame caught on fire. We are not less than. We are more than we imagined. And in this place of communion, we have come to be the blessing. We walk in a blessing way. We talk in a blessing way. We hear in a blessing way. We celebrate and we let go of the wrapping up of fear and the right of wrong. We put it down and we see each other in a new way. Brothers and sisters, fellow journeyers of this extraordinary dance of divinity encased in humanity. So grateful. We release it and together we say, and so it is.
May the trail rise up to meet you. May your heart rejoice in song. May the skies be fair above you. As you journey ever on, ever on, ever on, ever on, ever on.
Well, I realize I scooted right over a song. Was that your main song for today?
No.
Would you like to do that for us?
That was the meditation song.
Perfect. Then will you bless us with another song tonight? Now we're going to go from the dedication into the graduation. So, one more song.
Sure. We chose this one for the practitioners because it's so true. You will do amazing things. And if there is ever, if you needed an example of what a practitioner does, they hold the truth. What did Marcy do? Through all of this, what did Marcy know? And look around. What's here right now? That's what a practitioner does. They know. They hold the truth. Thank you, Marcy. You will do amazing things with the choice each new day brings, and with every step you take, bless the progress that you make. The reason you live is there in every gift you give. Love your life, love your dreams. You will do amazing things. Amazing, amazing. You will do amazing things. Amazing, amazing. You will do amazing things. Oh, the places you will go, and the people you will know. Don't worry when, where, or how. You don't need to know that now. You're on the right track. No need to look ahead or back. Just enjoy what this day brings. You will do amazing things. Amazing, amazing. You will do amazing things. Amazing, amazing. You will do amazing things. You don't have to work it out. Just stay in the here and now. Let your mind rest for a little while. Sometimes greatest answers come when you're out there having fun. So close your eyes, take a breath, and smile. Amazing, amazing. You will do amazing things. Amazing, amazing. You will do amazing things. Why don't you stand and sing this with me? Amazing, amazing. You will do amazing things. someone else. Sing it to them. Amazing, amazing. You will do amazing things. Amazing, amazing. You will do amazing things. One last time around. Amazing, amazing. You will do amazing things. Yes, you will. Amazing, amazing. You will do amazing things.
Thank you. That was perfect. That was beautiful. Thank you so much. So now we'll enter the part of our graduation ceremony, and I would like to invite all the ministers up with me, and we're each going to talk for a few minutes about the spiritual aspect of being a practitioner. And this is our Amani Ministerial Council. So mine is as a spiritual walk and a sacred service to this place, to each other, to each of you. Because today, this day, is a privilege and an honor for me to acknowledge and grant licenses to our religious science certified practitioners. They've completed 4 years of training right here at the Amani Center. And they've also taken a vow of what's called the Practitioner Code of Ethics. Becoming a licensed practitioner is a commitment in consciousness and in action to the Amani Center, to the ministers, to the members and friends of this beautiful place, and to the further unfoldment of themselves. It's a spiritual walk that's incorporated into your every moment. It's a way of being in the world, a constant beacon of light for all. A religious science certified practitioner is one who's dedicated to know that spiritual truth that God dwells with us, within us, as us, and is for us. Practitioners know the love and law that we work with is God's feeling, healing power. They feel the presence of spirit as joy, love, and spiritual truth for others because they know it for themselves. This is the sacred service that they offer this community and to the world. They will be standing before us, duly qualified for such a responsibility, having completed the required accreditation. In some cases, over 200 hours of study, and have given many hours in service, acting as a practitioner of the day during our Sunday services, available for treatment prayer after service. And they've each had to get 5 letters of acknowledgement that they've had a successful treatment. And by this, they've demonstrated their power of knowing affirmative prayer. So I'm so honored to embrace these individuals into the circle of light as practitioners for this Amani Center. So I now pass my word to Reverend Sherry.
So this is to you, the practitioners. You said yes. You said yes to do the walk, to face opening up to the divine source in you. And in so doing, you had to go down the bumpy road. You had to let yourself be vulnerable Walk the path where you didn't know the end. Trust that when you were down, the voice in you would speak and you would listen. You left people behind. You left things behind that no longer served you. And you walked fearlessly into the unknown. And this won't stop. This is a lifetime of saying yes to your own inner spirit. I now ask you, will you pledge and commit to maintain this consciousness of oneness, divine power and love, through the daily practice of affirmative treatment, the practice of finding your still place? As this is your quest for yourself, will you take the call up and do it for anyone and all of those that ask? And let go of the personality that wants to take charge? And let the glory go to the divine in you and in them? And I pass my word to
The role of a spiritual practitioner is to know the truth, the high spiritual truth, for themselves and for us. When our dreams feel too big, to remind us that we're enough, that if divine source gave us that dream, that we're enough to achieve it. They also help us remember the truth in the dark night of the soul, that night that feels so dark, like there's no light. They help us remember that the light is always there and reconnect us with it. Spiritual practitioners also pray, known as affirmative prayer or treatment, after service and during the week. If you just reach out to the center, we will connect you with a practitioner. It's what they love to do. They support Sunday service with meditation and prayer. They also hold a safe, loving space for each of us to be seen and heard. That alone has so much healing in it. And lastly, and most importantly, they've dedicated their lives to being a living demonstration of spiritual principle and walking that journey in spite of our humanness and doing it authentically, bravely, and with great courage. And I pass my word to Reverend Pixie.
Practitioner as a sacred service. A sacred service. Sacred service is the opening and connecting point for those called to serve. The practitioner honors the practice of service as a way of life and demonstrates a desire to serve others by sharing the heart and listening with the inner ear. Nothing is more sacred than holding someone's closest emotions, fears, thoughts, or ideas when walking with them through the dark to reveal the softness of the light. This is the sacred service of the practitioner.
Practitioner as spiritual leadership of the Amani Center. Practitioners play a vital role to any New Thought Center as they provide the treatment, affirmative prayers over our congregation, attend to the spiritual needs of our fellowship, and serves as role models and examples of those living in spiritual integrity in their own lives. But at the Amani Center, as our center is not a senior minister-led center, that role of providing spiritual leadership is even more important. And as you move through the classes and continue to grow in consciousness and expand in awareness, you are specially prepared to grow, develop, and mature into that role of leadership by your example. This is bestowed on our graduating practitioners today. Go forth knowing that you are this.
Beautiful. And so now, in a moment, the ministers will sit down for a moment, and we're going to be playing a video. Reverend Cindy has videotaped a blessing for the practitioners as well. And then we're going to go into each one of the practitioners has done a video for us, their thoughts about
Sorry I
being
can't be
a
there in
practitioner.
person, but just wanted to congratulate you on the culmination of all your work. And I want to share with you a quote from Ernest Holmes in regard to the role of the practitioner. He says, "The practitioner's role is to work through the law of mind for someone or something else. They do this by declaring the truth, and the word of their declaration removes any obstruction in the one mind and allows the flow of life through the individual." That's a very high and holy service. So thank you for entering into this service, because truly the role of the practitioner in a congregation is the practical application of the spiritual values of the center. So congratulations to you all, and thank you with much gratitude for your service that you've been performing and are now entering into. Namaste.
Hi, my name is Jamie Keenan, and I am one of the new Amani spiritual practitioners. I've been going to the Amani Center for the past 7 years now, almost 8 years. And I started my spiritual practitioner journey when I started taking classes. I wasn't intending on being a spiritual practitioner. I just saw the year 1 classes that they were offering, like the 4 Agreements and You Can Heal Your Life by Louise Hay. And they were just classes that started my spiritual journey into discovering who I am and what I'm on this planet to do. The journey has been 4 years with amazing people that I've taken the classes with. We all really dug deep in each class, and we formed bonds that I will cherish and have for the rest of my life. I'm so grateful to have gone through the 4 years of classes that we took. Once I started the journey, I just didn't want to stop taking the classes. I just loved the way that I felt. I loved learning about what a spiritual mind treatment was. I loved doing spiritual mind treatment for people because it just opened up who I was in spirit and connecting with that person and seeing the truth and who that person really was, which in turn made me see the truth of myself. So my intention for being a spiritual practitioner is to continue to raise my consciousness, continue to take the classes, to do spiritual mind treatment for people so that I can just feel the spirit moving through me and connecting with people so that we can continue to be a loving community where we just lift each other up. And I'm so grateful. Thank you so much.
I'm Rebecca, speaking from my heart. Being a practitioner and this journey has meant everything to me beyond words. I've connected on a deeper level to spirit and a deeper level of loving for all that is. I've been on this metaphysical journey for since I was 20. And this is a culmination of that in this lifetime, this metaphysical journey of knowing the truth of who we are beyond the physical and sharing that with others so that they know their divinity and know that they are perfect, whole, and complete beyond condition. So knowing that for them and guiding them to that awareness, I'm honored and privileged to accept this role, this sacred service, to hold the high watch. And I thank especially Reverend Sherry, Reverend Patty, Reverend Belinda, and Maureen for being our spirit guides. Thank you, and namaste.
Hi, I'm Tammy Hartman, and I'm one of the Amani Center's practitioners. And my journey has been one of exploring other spiritual paths and not really wanting to conform to any kind of one spiritual path. And what I found at the Amani Center is that I get to explore all spiritual paths. I get to integrate them, and that's exactly what I was looking for when I found the Amani Center almost 6 years ago. And what I have found here is I'm able to heal those parts of me that come up that need healing, and I get to grow and I get to change, and I'm loved and supported here. And so when the Amani Center offered spiritual practitioner classes and other opportunities to grow and change, I jumped. And so here we are, 4 years of training and 6 or 7 years of just being a part of, I was a big part of the New Thought Kids program and really helping out where I could. So I want to thank you very much, Amani Center, for allowing me to grow and to change, and I'm here if you need me. Namaste.
Hey, my name is Marcy Mitchell, and I am one of the new practitioners here at the Amani Center. I have to say that I was, I don't know if reluctant's the right word, the reluctant practitioner, but I certainly did not intend to be a practitioner. I have been in the teaching for many years. I was so fortunate to walk into my first New Thought church when I was 17, and it was a revelation to me that people were saying these things that I knew were true in my heart. And so when I was a young mother, I began taking classes, and I loved them. And it quickly became obvious to me that my life was better when I was in class, that I was better. I was more centered. I was coming from a place of intention and responding versus reaction. So I started taking classes, and I just have kept taking classes. And I've been at a lot of different centers because we've moved a lot. And the classes have just been amazing. But coming to the Amani Center, which this center I came about almost 7 years ago, I don't know, something shifted for me. This has been a special place, and I started going through year 1, year 2. Before I knew it, I was done with year 3, and there was a lot going on, and I thought, well, here I am. I could just step into year 4 with these wonderful women that I've been on this journey with, and so I just stayed open to what Spirit wanted me to do, and that was it. And so Reverend Belinda and Reverend Sherry created this 4th year for us that was just amazing, and then Reverend Pixie stepping in as we were doing our boards, our final testing. It's been just an incredible journey that I could never have planned. So I'm glad I stayed open. I'm glad I said yes. And I am so grateful to be a part of the Amani Center and a part of the Circle of Light. It's just, it's transformed my life. So thank you all, because it doesn't happen without all of you.
So now for the ceremony aspect of the graduation. If Ascension or just John would mind coming up and providing some background music. And now I would like to invite our new practitioners to please come up to the stage.
This is a time where you can participate by being what I call holding the space. It means you're here, connected to each and every person here in a way that floods the practitioners with love and well-being. And even if you don't think you know how to do it or it sounds a little corny, you can do it. So while we go through this, if you quietly stay in that place of sending love, we'd appreciate that.
We'll be starting and giving each person a divine quality, something that they emulate in their walk. And we're also honored to invite Reverend Angie Gann as part of our ministerial council. So I'll be presenting her with a ministerial certificate. Divine So now we would like your assistance in welcoming our new practitioners. Each of you were given a packet when you came in the door. And inside the packet, there's what's called a responsive reading. If you would pull that out. And then if you would please stand, and we'll do this together. So I'll speak mine, and then the practitioners will speak theirs, and then there is a place on the next page for you to join us. A practitioner is one who is dedicated to knowing the spiritual truth that God dwells within us, as us, and for us. A practitioner is committed to the idea that this truth, known inwardly, must be revealed outwardly in what we call demonstration, in the bodies, minds, and souls of themselves, and in the lives of their clients.
We know the love and law we work with is divine healing power, the power of the one mind. We know and feel the presence of the divine as joy, love, and spiritual truth in our lives. And we can know this truth for others because we know it for ourselves.
Dear practitioners, after demonstrating the power of affirmative prayer treatment work for yourself and others, and having proven your understanding of the healing principles of universal spirituality, and hereby having demonstrated your ability to use these principles in the service of others, I ask you, do you pledge and commit to maintain this consciousness of oneness, divine power, and love through your daily practice of affirmative prayer treatment and daily spiritual practice for yourself, your clients, your fellowship, your ministers, and for the Amani Center and the world?
Do you? Here it comes. Do you promise to do your part in carrying out the mission of this center, which is to be a participant in this inclusive spiritual community dedicated to raising consciousness and transforming lives? We do. That's right.
Do you promise to invite these practitioners to support you in times of your own need?
So, will the practitioners and the congregation join with us in this affirmative prayer? There is only one power and presence in the universe. It exists in and as and through everything. And we know that all of creation operates in absolute harmony and balance always. We see our new practitioners as expressions of this truth. We honor them today as genuine, full of integrity, walking their talk, and demonstrating the truth of their being now and every day. This day, we know their divine nature is expressing spirit through every aspect of their being. And they move courageously into ever-expanding circles of joy and fulfillment. In gratitude, we support and love this sacred experience of our friends and our practitioners. We release this treatment knowing it is done and released to the very highest and best in their lives. And together we say, and so it is. And so now, by the power as religious science certified practitioners of the Amani Center, congratulations, and we would all like to Om you together. 3 times, please. Congratulations, dear ones. Go ahead and please be seated. Yes, thank you. I'm just going to do the intention jar, or we can sit down.
So we've been praying, we've been speaking what's in our hearts, we've been talking about what a practitioner is, we've talked about the journey of this center, and now we would like to invite you to participate. We're going to use this spiritual tool of an intention jar, and with your packets today, you received a small card. And what we would like you to do is to use the power of your word to amplify what you would like to see continue in this center and grow, and what you would like to see called in. So you will simply write your intention for the Amani Center on this card, and then we will deposit them in the jar, and that this intention jar will stay in the sanctuary for the year. And we will continue to pray over this jar and to know that these words are powerfully active in the divine. So I will start first by putting my intention in, and then the jar will go to the back. And if you need a pen, we have some pens over here. Just raise your hand and Gina can give you a pen. We have a few people over here. And I will invite the practitioners to first put in their intentions, and then we will follow up with the congregation. Blessed be. Blessed be. Blessed be. And ministers, if you have yours, we'll also take yours. Do you have one, Anna? You can do it later. It's fine. Great. Wonderful. So now I will take the jar to the back, and after the service, please put your intention in the jar, and we will continue to magnify your thoughts, your vision, and your prayers.
Bet y'all wondering what's coming up next. Wasn't that a beautiful ceremony and service? I'd want to say thank you again. Blessings to our brand new practitioners. We are so fortunate to have you with us. Yeah. So now is the time we call the joyful time of giving. This is a time where we get to give thanks by giving. We are an independent center, and Spirit has provided for us everything that we needed to have to make this happen. So we are independent, and not only has Spirit provided all sorts of ways for our good to come to us, but it also is through the tithes and the gifts that we receive from each and every one of you at home, here in the space. Sometimes we get them from the other side of the world, which is really cool. But these are all the ways that you can donate, give, tithe. Anyway, you can text. We have a donate button on our email blast. And we take checks, we take cash, we take everything. But it is a beautiful thing in which we get to give and we receive. People think that it's just like a cash thing. It's not. It's a consciousness. Prosperity is a consciousness. And we are so very blessed to have that consciousness here in the Amani. And it is demonstrated by its own growth as you can turn around and see each other and see what we have that are tuning in. Hi, guys. On our YouTube channel. So at any rate, we're going to go ahead and pass the boxes. And I know John over here has, actually, it's his own tune. So be generous with your contributions. Be generous. Oh, wait. Before we do that, take your contribution, put it on your heart. Put it on your heart. If you already do it at the beginning of the month, like we do on the donate button, just know it. Put your hand on your heart anyway. And we just know that beyond a shadow of doubt, dear sweet Father, Mother God is showing up in the most magnificent of ways in our prosperity, in our abundance, in our love, and in our presence that God shows up through as us. Thank you, God, for the abundance that is showing up every day and in every way. All right. Okay, you got it? Here come the baskets. Here comes John.
I give up my heart, I give up my soul, I give up my treasures because I know that as I give, I will receive. The circle is complete. That's it. I give up my heart, I give up my soul, I give up my treasures because I know that as I give, I will receive. The circle is complete. It's the only way it works. I give up my heart, I give up my soul, I give up my treasures because I know that as I give, I will receive. The circle is complete. I give up my heart, I give up my soul, give up my treasures because I know that as I give, I will receive. The circle is complete. I give up my heart, I give up my soul, give up my treasures because I know that as I give, I will receive. The circle is complete. The circle is complete. The circle is complete. There we go.
Great thanks for the blessing of this abundance. I know that it moves in and through this center and brings forth such great good. We know that it also goes out into the community, and everything that we send out returns to us tenfold. Together we say, and so it is. Yes, ma'am.
Well, everyone, we're so grateful that you joined us today for such a special day, dedicating the space with your intentions and celebrating the practitioners that have shown up to be the spiritual leadership of this center. So now, if you'll join me in a closing treatment. We know that the divine has met us here and joined with us in this celebration. And we honor that divine aspect within ourselves, knowing that we are lifted up and participate in this divinity that is in us and as us and moves through us. That as we were lifted up today in this service, we take it out into the world, touching everyone we come in contact with, lifting them up by our raise in consciousness, our high vibe, our energy. And this is how we change the world. So we're grateful for each other that has shown up here today to commune, to celebrate, to remind each other who we are and that we're here for each other. So we release this and let it go, knowing that the divine has gone before us and paved the way. We're grateful and we celebrate and we say together, and so it is. And so now I invite you to please stand as we sing our closing song together. And after our song, Reverend Sherry will come up and do the final benediction. There is a potluck after service. Please stay and join and celebrate with our new practitioners.
The presence is here. The presence is here. Love and spirit prevail on each face. The presence is here. Amen. The presence is here. And I will meet you in grace. I will meet you in grace.
A benediction. Go, have fun, let your light shine, do your light.